In this video, I'm going to talk about Business Central Admin Center. Now, Business Central Admin Center is basically an administration area for admins whereby various administration related settings can be configured. So, example, the settings related to environments or notification or uh, connection with various tenants, telemetry, outage reporting, operations, capacity management. So those all things can be configured as a part of Business Central Admin Center. Now remember, this will be only be able to available only to the administrator. So if you are an administrator, if you are in the role of an administrator, then you will be able to configure those settings. This is how the admin center basically looks like. So you will be able to see the environment which is currently configured for your tenant. You can do various actions related to tenant like environment transfer, view the deleted environment, create a new environment, view the latest update versions of the current environment. You can also configure various notification recipients for receiving various service related messages from Microsoft. There is a way to which you can configure authorized Microsoft Entra app. Basically, this authorized app will be used to consume the Business Central Admin Center API. So this is like basically configuring something in Microsoft Azure and then referencing those particular component within an Entra applications. Now, environment settings. So different settings can be done within the admin center. So you can define a security group. You can configure the telemetry for viewing application related error information, warnings, etc., as a part of application insights, which is basically another service within Microsoft Azure. You can access with M365 license. You can modify the update window for your tenant. You can modify update cadence for the app. Also, you can link a Microsoft Power Platform environment for this Business Central application. There is a way through which you can cancel the user session from Admin Center. You can restart an environment. You can create a database export. You can view the exported items which you have configured. You can transfer environment. You can receive environment from various tenants. So this is like again environment exchange related settings which can be done using the Admin Center. You can raise a new support request. Now again, raising support request is all about informing uh, Microsoft about any issue which happens within your tenant, and if you're not able to resolve it, and if you think that is something related to the platform provider thing, then you can raise a support request. You can also see the production outages. You can copy, restore, rename, delete environment. So these are the various things which you can perform using the Business Central Admin Center. Now, as you see over here in the screen, you can see telemetry. So you can view the telemetry from here. If you go into the Dynamics 365 Business Central Admin Center, you can view the list of all the telemetry. You can search for various telemetries within the time stamp, within the category, within the specific environment. From an operations perspective, you can again view what all environment operations has happened within your tenant. You can report production. You can view the reported production outages. So if Microsoft is performing some sort of an update, or if there is an outages which has happened within the tenant, then you can actually view outages for last 7, 14, 30, and the days which is configured as a part of this particular interface. Now you can also view the capacity for the tenant, like how the capacity has been consumed in terms of database, in terms of the quota which you have provided for production and sandbox type of licenses or environment, and also what kind of capacity do you have depending on your organization's allocation, based on the capacity you get as a part of user licenses and additional capacity which you have purchased from Microsoft. Now, the notification which we have configured, now this is one of the sample notification email you may get. So if you configure an email address, you can configure an external email address. It need not be on that same tenant. So you can configure your personal email address, and then from there you will be able to get an update to the uh, environment. So now in this case, I've received a notification that an update to your environment is scheduled on say X date. And then it will just list down what is the current version, what is the available version, when it is going to scheduled, what is the update window during which that update is going to happen, and what is the last reschedulable uh, date. So these kind of informations are all listed. Now other settings, now there are other things which you can configure, like as I mentioned to you, view the telemetry, view reported outages, view the capacity. So you can view storage capacity usage by source, environment quota usage, storage usage by environment. So these are the various things which you can perform using uh, Power Platform Admin Center. Now, how do you navigate to the Power Platform Admin Center? So, if you navigate to businesscentral.dynamics.com, so this is the URL basically through which you can navigate to your Business Central application. Okay, so businesscentral.dynamics.com. So, if you have configured your tenant, if you are logged in, then you will be navigated to businesscentral.dynamics.com. Now from here, depending on your role, the application will get loaded. Now in my case, I have set my role, so I'll just show you. If I click on the settings over here, and if you click on my settings, then here I can see that I'm a manufacturing manager. So based on my role type, the page will get loaded, right? Now it will be different depending on your role type, so it will be different for different people. Now in order to go to the admin center, now if you are an admin, you will be able to successfully navigate to the admin center. So I've clicked on the settings icon over here, and then there is a section called as admin center. So if I click on admin center over here, it will authenticate, and then it will take you to the Dynamics 365 Business Central Admin Center. Now from here, as you see, I see left menu items like environment, notification request, telemetry, capacity, etc. Now this is the first screen. So this is the first screen whereby I can see all the environments which are available as a part of my tenancy. Now I have an option to click on new and then create a new environment. So if I click on new, I will be able to create a new environment. Okay. Now I can even refresh the environment. I can do an environment transfer. I can view the recently deleted environments. And also I can see various environments listed depending on what kind of application family does it belong to, what state it is in, which country, which region, what is the current version and available update, those kind of thing. Now as I clicked on new, it has given me this screen whereby I can create a new environment. So if I just type in I want to create a new environment, and the environment name is say Girish BC. Okay. Now it says you cannot add space between it, so I'll just have Girish BC, and that's my environment name. Production type. Now type is production. I can select type production or sandbox. Now as you see over here, it says you cannot create more than one production environment. So in my tenant, I cannot create more than one production environment. I already have a production environment, so I cannot create a production environment. However, I have an option to create a sandbox environment. So I can create a sandbox environment, and then it will ask me to select the environment country. So I can select various countries from here. So in my case, if I just type in AU, then that's for Australia. It says the new environment will be set up with an update window that fall outside common working hours for AU. After environment is created, you can see and change the update window. So it will also give you an option to which version you want. So 24.5.23, or this is the preview version. So depending on your need and requirement, you can pick up the version. So either you get a preview version or a stable version. Preview versions are basically not for production purposes. It is just for testing purposes of the new features set. But for the stable version, you can pick up the stable version, and then you can provision your environment. So this is how you basically create an environment. I'll just cancel this off. Now you can also do an environment transfer. So if I click here, transfer environment. Now this is for use this feature to transfer your environment to another Entra tenant. So if you have another Entra tenant, and if you want to transfer this environment to a different Entra tenant, you should know the IDs of that particular tenant, and then from that point onwards, you will be able to transfer the environment. So this is transferring. Okay, so this is you're sending the information back to the tenant. Okay, the target tenant. Now there is another option called as a receive environment. Okay, so if I click on transfer environment, then it says which environment you want to transfer. So I can select environment to transfer. As I have only one environment, it will allow me to transfer this. And then here I need to type in the destination entra id. So if I have the destination entra id of that specific environment, I will be able to transfer this environment. So what basically we are doing, we are linking the two different tenants. So we have this Microsoft 365 cloud and Dynamics 365 cloud. Now Microsoft 365 cloud and Dynamics 365 Power Platform cloud are related, but Dynamics 365 Business Central Admin Center environments are a bit different compared to Power Platform Admin Center environment. Now here what we are doing is like we are providing that linkages. Okay. Now here you have an option to select the date for transfer, execute the transfer, etc. I'll just cancel this off, and then I'll just click on environment transfer and I can receive the environment. Now here when you say receive, it says specify the source intra tenant from which environments are being transferred to this tenant. Now again, internal admin can only accept an environment transfer. Again, the same process here. You need to have a specific quota available for the number of environment to be received, and also transferring an environment will disrupt your service, so you need to be aware of these things. And once you have the source enter tenant id, you can do that receive environments action. On the screen you can see the service health, you can see the message center. Now I'll first go through all these items and then I'll explore environments. Now notification recipients, as I mentioned to you, you can specify your personal email address or any email address which is not part of this tenant to receive notification request for this particular environment. I've shown you the sample. Microsoft will send you a sample with regards to when an update is going to happen, if there are any specific things you need to take care of. So all this information will be part of that email notification. Entra app, you can authorize Entra application. Now authorized app listed below can manage your environment using Business Central Admin Center API. Okay, please ensure only apps you trust are authorized. Now if I click on authorize Entra app, what I need to do is like I just need to provide the application ID. Now if you go to portal.azure.com, if you go to Entra, and then from there if you create an app registration, you get an application client ID. From use that application client ID over here to authorize an Entra app to use the Business Central Admin Center API. Basically it is used to execute environment lifecycle operation against all Business Central environments in your Entra tenant. And if you have a lot of Entra app IDs listed over here, application client ID, then there's a concept of admin consent as well. So you will be able to see whether that application has a consent to execute those operations or not. Telemetry, this is related to any any actions or activity related to say specific operation within your environment. So it can be an error, warning information, security related information, logging related information. So all this information you will be able to see over here. So if you can configure the time window, timestamp, query category, and then based on your selection you can search for the telemetry. This is all for operational kind of an activity. Reported outages, if Microsoft has reported outages in the last 7, 14, 30 days, then you will be able to see all the reported production outages. And along with that, there will be ticket ID, created date, name, version type. So as there are no reported production outages, there's nothing listed over here. Operations, from operation environment operation perspective, you can uh, view what has happened in the last 7 days or 14 days, and if you filter that out you will be able to see various information. So uh, I'll just click back. Yeah. So yeah, so from an operations perspective here, as you see in the column, you see environment, then you have environment type, you have operation, invoked on, started on, completed on. So any environment related operations you will see over here. So take for example, if you have transferred an environment or created an environment, or that did some actions on the environment, all these environment operations related information will be stored over here, and then you can view the result. Capacity perspective, now all this environment needs some capacity in terms of database storage. So as you see over here, I have 80 gigs of capacity, and then I have this as a part of organization tenant, I get 80 GB. From user license I don't get any additional capacity, I haven't bought any. So it will give you that summarized information about the capacity. Also, environment quota usage. How are you utilizing the quota in terms of production and sandbox environment? So I have one production and uh, three sandbox environment capacity. Also, if you see over here, I can navigate to the storage usage by environment, and I can see per table, storage per table, what is the capacity, right? So it will take me to that page whereby I will be seeing a list of tables, and then from there I will be able to see the capacity. Now, as you see over here, it says company name. This is the table name. This is the table number. How many records exist? What are the record size? And what is the index size? So this gives me a summarized information about all the tables within my say company and say tenant. Okay, so this is a nice set of information. So if you want to see which table is being used the most or not used the most, you can see those records just by sorting. So if I just sort by maximum record, I can see data sensitivity, calendar entry, postcode, config package field has more number of entries, and I can also see the database size. Not necessarily the number of records indicates the data size. If I click on data size over here, if I sort it by descending, then you can see that tenant media thumbnails is consuming 5432 KB. Okay, so this is compared to the number of records, it is less, but then the data size is more as it may store images in it. So this is how you basically do those calculation. Now we have covered all the things over here. Now if you go to environments again, now if I click within the environment, if I go into this environment, then I can see more information about my environment. So there are a lot of things happening over here. So if I click on apps, I can see all the applications which are currently installed within this environment, and it will show me the installed version. It will show me the latest available version and the available update actions for that specific environment. So it says all everything is up to date, but then if some updates is pending, then it will show you an update over there as well. Now coming back to the environments, if I again go back to this environment, I can click on sessions, and then from here I can see that there are like a couple of sessions which are open. So I can go ahead and select the session, and I can cancel the selected session. So if there are many users logged into your environment, and if you want to remove the session for that user, you can go ahead and do that. Also, there is an option to restart an environment. Now remember, if you restart an environment, all the partial transaction will not be committed, and also user will see a refresh message, and then user may have to restart their session details. Okay, so all the sessions will get logged off, and then you will be able to log into the session with a fresh start. Now, again, going back to the environment, if I go into the environment again, so we have seen apps, we have seen sessions. From a database perspective, we can create a database export, and we can export the history as well. So I'm not going to go into that, but then there I'm just showing you where what you can do from an admin center perspective. Support perspective, you can create a support request, you can report production outage, you can manage support contact. So if you click on new support request, it will open in Power Platform environment page. From here you can raise a support ticket. So help and support as a part of Power Platform Admin Center, so it is all centralized in one place. Okay, now similarly in this support, you have manage support contact. So here you can specify who will be the primary support contact for the environment. So if I just type say Girish Uppal is the primary contact, and maybe this is my email address and this is my website, and I can apply it to all environments. So I'll just apply to all environment, or specifically this is for this environment. So this is how I manage those support contact detail within my organization. So this is the name of the local uh, resource which we can utilize. Now, as you see over here in this message, it says an update to the version is available. Update will begin on this. You may schedule a date for the update or go to Business Central Update for more information. So it has given me that information that my environment is going to be updated on this date. Okay, so it has given you nice information, and then from here you can set the update settings. You can set update window, so which window you want to set. So I've set a window of 9:30 p.m. in the evening to 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and this is time zone of Adelaide. So I can change the time zone of Adelaide to Brisbane, and I'll just click on save. Now during this update window, there is a chance that the update may happen uh, during that specific time period and following that specific time zone. Set update date, so I can actually set the update date. It says current version is this, scheduled version is this. Now I know it's going to be updated on 16th of the October, 16th of the September. Now I can say, oh no, I want to make this update on maybe 23rd of the September, and then I'll say allow the update to run outside the update window. I'll say no, and then I can schedule an update, and then this update will be scheduled. So any environment related update, there is an option for you to set the update window as well. Now from an environment side, you can copy the environment. So I'm copying the environment from one environment to another. So there are multiple ways to create an environment. Now this is a way to create an environment just by copying this environment. So if I want to create a copy of my prod environment, I will just say Girish copy prod. This is the new environment which I want to create, and I'll create a sandbox environment. So this is how you basically create a copy of the environment. Similarly, I can restore an environment. So if I click on restore, I can restore this environment to the specific environment. But then you need to be very sure that you are doing this, because don't do that from a production environment perspective, because you need to make sure that you have quota, you have a restore quota. All those things should be taken care before you restore the environment. And also, restoring environment is not a simple process. There are a lot of things you need to configure. Here, as you see in the advanced options, you have an option to uninstall per tenant extension, third party app source, environment cleanup, and all those kind of things. So this is a topic for another day. Um, Similarly, you can rename the environment, you can delete the environment. So I can rename the environment and I can delete the environment. Now from here, you will be able to see the name of the environment, the type of the environment, what family does it belong to. Here you can configure the instrumentation key for the app inside. So if you click on modify, I've already configured the instrumentation key. I've configured in Microsoft Azure, but you can do that over here as well. Now URL, this is the URL for your business central application, which country it belongs to, what is the region, and from here you can see that security group. Now there is no security group defined. However, I can say that current security group, this is the security group listed in my tenant. I can select this security group and I can save this. Okay, so it says restrict environment access to people in this security group. And remember, only the licensed user can access business central application. Again, coming back over here, version management, I can see the application version, platform version, available update version, update scheduling is available or not. What is the scheduled update and update window? Now this is the same option, schedule update from here, update settings, update window, update date, update window, update date. So this is that same option which is available. And we can see that update rollout state is active, app update cadence default. Now this is the last but not least but the important setting. Now you can see which Power Platform environment is linked. Now if I click on link Power Platform environment over here, then it says linking your D365 central environment to a Power Platform environment sets a default target environment when setting up integration and sync features. Now, there are no available environment for linking. Now, once the environment is available for linking, you can select that environment and then you can link the Dynamics 365 Business Central Admin Center with the Power Platform Admin Center. Now, this is my Power Platform Admin Center. So, this tenant is different than the Business Central Admin Center tenant. Now, if I want to do that linkages between this tenant, I can go ahead and do that. And with that, what might happen is like there will be a seamless integration between my Power Platform and Business Central application. So that's it, folks. This is all about Dynamics 365 Business Central Admin Center. We have covered most of the things over here, and some of the items which I'm going to cover in more depth, like copying environment, restoring environment, linking the Power Platform environment. But this is just an introduction about the things which you can do from a Dynamics 365 Business Central Admin Center perspective if you have the right administrator role. Thanks for watching.